Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Dear students, it's me Abdul Hanan and you are watching my YouTube channel as we are discussing AS level business studies and we have completed chapter number 1 and now today we will start chapter number 2 and we will discuss the first topic of chapter number 2. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the new videos and also share it with your friends because this is very beneficial. Shortly I'm explaining all the topics and in detail, and also it's you can say according to the new pattern, new book I'm sharing. All of the videos mostly you will find related to the old book, but for the new book you will find very less videos. So it's going to be very beneficial for you. And watch the video till end for the better understanding. If you have any questions, you can comment on the video, or you can contact personally, and I'll answer you for that. So let's start. First of all, we see the topic 2.1, that is economic sectors, and business activity and ownership can be classified in a number of ways. One of these is by identifying which type of product or service is being produced. So whenever we are going to start the business, first of all we decide what kind of product we are going to produce. And business can give two kind of offers. One is manufacturing and one is service. So you can have a product business, like physically product you are giving to the consumers, and you have service business as well, where you are giving your services, for example hair cutting, teaching, transportation, etc. After that we can see that primary sectors, secondary sector, tertiary sector, and this one is new added this year, quaternary economic sector. Okay, this quaternary economic sector is new in this book, and we will see what exactly it is. Business activity produces a vast range of different goods and services. It is possible to classify these into four broad types of business activity. These broad categories are based on the stages involved in turning natural resources such as oil and timber into finished goods and services demanded by consumers. So in these four sectors, what we do, that we are we can say we are getting the natural resource, and after that we are processing that natural resource, and then we are giving to the consumers. So these are all the functions of, you can say, these four factors. Then the stages take place in a primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary sectors of industry. So first of all is primary sector, where you are extracting the natural resource. Okay, so here we can see the examples. Primary production, dairy farm in New Zealand is an example. A lot of examples are there. Like this is only the example related to natural resource, like you are getting the milk from the cows. It's a natural resource. Then after that, secondary production gives you clothing factory in China, where the natural resource crop cotton is being processed into clothes. And after that, we can see that tertiary sector, the breathtaking Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. It is giving service for the people to stay and all that. Here they are not giving any product. And quaternary sector is research laboratory in India, where you are searching on something. So the balance of these sectors in the economies of different countries varies substantially. It depends on the level of industrialization in each country. Table 2.1 shows the differences between three countries and the change in importance of these sectors in Ghana since 2008. So country name is United Kingdom, China and Ghana. Primary industry, primary sector was 1.2, 26.1 and 33.8. And then secondary sector was in United Kingdom 18.1, 27.6 and 18.6 in Ghana. Tertiary sector and quaternary sector in UK was 80.7, mean they are mostly focusing on service businesses. It's the data of 2008, and in China service business was 46%, 46.3, and in Ghana it was 47.6. This is how we can assume that which country is producing natural resource, working on natural resource, or dealing in natural resource, like in primary sector. which country is processing more, which country is giving services more. This is how we can assume. So after that, we can see that changes in relative importance of economic sectors. Now we will see what kind of changes are there. The classification of business activity by economic sectors has two important features: changes over time and variation between different economies. So first of all, we see that what is the change over time. The importance of each sector in an economy changes over time. In Ghana, as shown in table 12, 2.1, the primary sector reduced and the secondary sector increased by between 2018 and 19. The growing importance of the secondary sector manufacturing industries in developing countries is called industrialization. The relative importance of secondary sector activity is increasing in many countries in Africa and Asia. The relative importance of each sector is measured in terms of either employment level or output level as a proportion of the whole economy. So whenever we see that if your primary sector is increasing, it means it is working on that. If it's decreasing, it means they are moving towards secondary sector or tertiary sector. So in this way, we can have different examples. We can have different like comparisons where we can say that the percentage of primary sector is decreasing and percentage of secondary sector is increasing or tertiary sector is increasing and all that. Then we see what kind of consequences we have. Of course, everything has consequences, positive or negative. Problems are there, benefits are there, but we see that what are the consequences of industrialization. So firstly, we will talk about benefits. In benefits, we see total national output, mean gross domestic product (GDP) increases, and this raises average standard of living. Of course, whenever your industry is increasing, your output is increasing, so increases the GDP. Increasing output of goods can result in lower imports and higher exports of such products. Of course, that whenever output is there, so it will load. You don't need to import things. You are exporting once you are producing a lot. So it's a benefit for the economy. Expanding manufacturing business will result in more jobs being created. Of course, when more industries are there, more employment opportunities will be there, more jobs will be produced. Expanding and profitable firms will pay more tax to the government. Of course, when industries are there, more profit will be there, more exports are there, more taxes the government will receive, and it's a benefit to the economy. Then value is added to the country's output of raw materials rather than just exporting these as basic unprocessed products. So this will also be a benefit that your value is added to the country's output of raw material rather than you are exporting your raw materials. Then consequences of industrialization as a problem. What problems are there? The chance of work in manufacturing can encourage a huge movement of people from the countryside to towns, which leads a housing and social problems. So like whenever industries are there, so people will move from you can say what should I say, that they will move from the like you can say from villages they want to work, they will move to the cities. So cities will be crowded. Okay, the chance of work in manufacturing can encourage a huge movement of the people from countryside to town, which leads to housing and social problems. Yes, so it will be a problem. Like we have seen, being Pakistani, if you have an experience that the big cities, they have more opportunities. So people come from different small towns, villages, they work there, and after that, whenever you have seen Eid is there or any occasional holiday is there, you will see those cities are empty. So people are moving back to their homes and all that, homes and towns. Then import of raw materials and components are often needed, which can increase the country's import cost. Yes, whenever is being installed, you have to import machinery from China, from UK, from America, Canada, and any country. So it's an expensive, you can say, import cost is there. It will become expensive for you. Much of the growth of manufacturing industry is due to expansion of multinational companies. These can have negative impact on the economy too. In developed economies, the situation is reversed. There is a decline in the importance of secondary sector activity and increase in the tertiary sector. The developed countries like America and the UK, they are mostly focusing on the service sector economy. They are not focusing on the manufacturing. Okay, they are just trying to create those kind of businesses which gives services. And raising incomes associated with higher living standards have led consumers to spend much of their extra income on services rather than more goods. So it's an also disadvantage that whenever due to industrialization you earn money but you spend on services rather than getting the products. Manufacturing businesses in developed countries face much more competition as a result of increasing global industrialization. Yes, of course. Then we see consequences of deindustrialization when the manufacturing is reducing. The consequences of the decline in the relative importance of the primary and secondary sector and the increase in relative importance of the tertiary and quaternary sector include job losses in agriculture, mining, and manufacturing industries. So, in services, you don't need more of the employees. So, job losses will be there. Movement of people toward town and cities, it will be reduced. Like job opportunities in service industry, no, it will not be reduced. Movement of people towards towns and cities, it will be done. Like whenever industrialization is there, so people will move for the service businesses. Then second is movement of people towards town and cities. Yes, job opportunities in service industries, tertiary and quaternary sectors will be there. Increased need for training programs to allow workers to find employment in service industries. So these are the consequences. This will happen whenever there is deindustrialization in the economy. Then importance of sectors varies between economies. The importance of each sector varies significantly between different economies. Table 2.1, which we have seen, gives detail of the differences that exist between three different countries' economies and the share of total employment accounted for by sectors of industry. So, first of all, we can say that public sector and private sector of the economy we will study, but we can say that importance of these sectors, it changes. The importance of this will change from one country to another with the passage of time. Then we talk about public sector and private sector of the economy. Industry may also be classified in other ways, for example, by public or private sector, or by type of legal structure. These two type of classification are called interlinked, as some type of legal structure are found only in the private sector. What is the difference between the private sector and the public sector of the economy? In nearly every country with a mixed economy, most business activities is in the private sector. The relative importance of the private sector compared to the public sector is not the same in all countries. Those economies that are closest to a free market system have a very small public sectors. Those countries with central planning command economies will have a very few business in the private sector. So this is the difference. You have to memorize. It's very important parts. Short questions related to this are mostly coming. The types and sizes of businesses in the private sector vary considerably. The legal structure of firms in the private sector is covered in section 2.2. We will see that. Then we talk about public sector enterprise and public corporations. In most mixed economy countries, important goods and services are provided by government owned or state run organization, as it is or good that they are too significant to be left to private businesses. These public sector enterprises usually include education services, health and education services, defense and public law and order, mean police force. In some countries, important strategic industries such as energy, water supply, and public transport are also owned and controlled by the state as a public corporation. So basically, you can say that public corporations or public sector organizations are the organization which are owned and controlled by the government. Another reason for the state or public sector rather than the private sector to provide products is the existence of public goods. Then we talk about advantages of public corporation and disadvantages of public corporation, because here is the concept what I have told you. Only this is very important to learn. Then advantages we see, they are managed with social objectives rather than solely with the profit. They do not only work for profit, they work for social objectives. Then loss making services might still be kept operating if the social benefit is great enough. So even if you are making loss, so they will keep on working it because it is beneficial for the general public. Finance is raised mainly from the government is supporting these kind of organizations. Disadvantages, there can be a tendency toward inefficiency due to lack of strict profit targets. So as there is no goal for profit, no target for profit, so maybe there is inefficiency in these kind of departments. Subsidies from government can also encourage inefficiencies. When the people working in public corporations, they know that whenever they have loss, the government will support, government will give subsidies, so they do not work for efficiency, they do not work for in a good manner. Government may interfere in the business decisions for political reasons, for example by opening new branch in a certain area to gain popularity. So government is always interfering in these kind of business decisions for the political reasons as well, to open new branch in different areas of the country to gain more popularity about the public corporations. So this is all about you can say uh, uh, about this topic, and here we have discussed the consequences, benefits, problems, importance, and different types of uh, corporations and economic sectors. If you still have any question, you can contact me, you can comment on the video. In the next video we will talk about 2.2, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe my channel. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.